Hello, good morning, and thank you again for listening. I just wanted to talk about not giving up on yourself. Just keep on your path. Sometimes there's a lot of roadblocks that come our way and stop us or want us to abandon our path. But in the grand scheme of things, the most important person in your life is you. And so today, let's remove and release any blockages that have taught you, any blockages, programs, and just trying to think, judgments and expectations and limitations that have taught you that you're not you're not worth it. Remove and release. Yes. Remove and release. Um, that sometimes what happens is one of my things is I'm all about feeling better, living in the joy, being happier. And there's some aspects I still work on, and so it's like, don't give up yourself, give up on yourself. So no matter what obstacles and what blockages come before you, don't give up on yourself. Sometimes you have to take a side road, a detour, but you will always come back to you. So remove and release any resistance and any programmed resistance and societal resistance that you have in your life that stops you in your tracks and keeps you stuck. Yes. Just think about, like, give you an example of my journey is that I had, like, when I was really young, I had a lot of allergies. I had a lot of issues with food and had severe irritable bowel. And in my 20s, I didn't know if I was going to make it because I was in so much pain. There were periods of times that all I could eat was rice, white bread, and I sometimes could have chicken. Like, I had to go through these periods of like trying to allow my body to heal itself. But the images of in my head, like when I was younger, I had a lot of acne, and my hair, unfortunately, was quite frizzy, and I had some weight on me. And it's like, so I wasn't, and I was taller than most people. So at my age at that time, and it's like I didn't follow into the norm. So, and unfortunately, I let a lot of people who criticize me influence the value and judgment of myself. And it's taken a long time for me to realize that they have issues with themselves. It's nothing to do with it. And within my right and my power to say to them, like, you know, I don't want to spark an argument or anything like that, but it was really horrifying. And then so I had this underlying belief in myself that I was not worthy, I was not welcomed, and I was not loving. I was not lovable, as we discussed last week. I had told you about that. And so my body started to react to me because I was not willing to accept myself. And through a series of events that occurred once I got out of university and I moved away, there was a move. Louise Hayes was starting to really take off at that time. And then there was a movement of like all these women coming out and saying what they had experienced in their lifetimes. So I had worked on, so it was like a movement in a positive way. So it was the beginning, the starting of me really valuing myself and seeing myself. So at my age now, I feel better than I ever did in my 20s and 30s and 40s. I feel way better. I'm a lot happier. I have, mind you, I'm not perfect either. There's up and down days, but I still try to see the positive in everything. And that's the secret. And it's like, don't give up on yourself. Don't think that, like, I didn't I didn't bow to society's norms of, oh, you have to meet someone, um, and uh, you have to meet someone, and then uh, you have to have children. And at that time, I didn't think anybody would be attracted to me because that's what I was told, right? So, so I didn't even bother trying to date anybody because why get more? There was enough rejection. I didn't want any more rejection, so I just continued on my path. And and through a series of health events, like not the ear to bow, I wasn't very healthy. I'm sure that it would not have been a good time in my life to have children at that time. So I chose myself. I chose to live, right? And it's like sometimes you have to make choices. And it's like, I'm not saying that everyone should do this. Hello, Rose. Not everyone should do this, but it's like, this is where my path led. So now at my age, as I look around me, there's a lot of people that have grandchildren, and that's what their life is focused around, and that's wonderful and amazing. But I'm always the odd person out. But you know what? I've had a wonderful, amazing experiencing, learning what I've learned, being who I am, and seeing who I am. So it's like a celebration of I never gave up on myself, and it's no matter how hard it got. And there was a period of time that I sort of hid in the backgrounds, and I realized that I was denying who I was. So therefore, I was quite sick again. That, and then after that, I said, it's not worth it. It's not worth being sick all the time. I'd rather stand and celebrate myself. And it's like, it's taken me a long time. Like I have problems with my lymphatic and edema system, and I had gone through the normal channels everyone else was, and I was told, well, I don't know what your problem is. You're just going to have to live with it or figure it out yourself. So I figured it out myself. So now I had been doing Access Bar, Spinal Flow, and then I had a wonderful friend of mine suggested, found someone through Donna Eden. And so I had purchased a rebounder. And the first time I got on it, my feet hurt so bad. I was only at 50 seconds. That's all I could do. Now I'm at 5 minutes. And it's like, and sometimes too, it's like up here, oh, yes. And I used to take a lot of vitamins because I think that's the only thing that saved me throughout my life is my vitamins. So, and oh, the judgment and comments I used to get about that. But you know what? I'm still here. I'm still here. And it's like, I'm thankful and grateful for the opportunity, and I'm so thankful to myself that I believed in myself enough to allow myself to heal. And I've met some wonderful healers along the way, and I've done some work with them as well. And it's like, but I was looking at applying to a wellness place in Moncton, which is about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic, from my place. And they wanted a spiritual resume. So I'm like, okay, I made one, and I'm like, wow, this is like a catalog of my life. I mean, I'm a Reiki master. I'm so thankful and grateful for that as well. And I've done a lot of other different stuff. And it's like how wonderful and talented, and like, and each of you, just because I have done this stuff doesn't mean that it's like other people have different gifts and callings. Just being true to yourself. Like I met this lady that she was really gifted, and she could hear. She was a medium, and another lady who was a channeler, and they found their own way to honor their gifts and themselves. And it's like, the more power that you give yourself, the more power that you allow yourself to be and live and breathe who you are, the greater your gifts become. And it's like, we all have it's obstacles and issues that we have to overcome. And it's like, so why should I why should I weigh myself down and allow those obstacles to control and manipulate me? No, remove and release that. That don't paint your brush with the same brush. Don't paint yourself with everybody else's brushes. Don't don't allow, like, we're human. We have emotions. We're complex. We all have issues that that may not be moving forward in a rate that we would like to, or may not be changing, but as long as you keep working on them and you're aware of them, why should you let that stop you? So remove and release that. Yes. It's very interesting that it's like I realized over this past week, because I have someone, I'm very lucky. I have someone I can do exchanges with spinal flow with in the access bar. And so it made me realize that I was allowing my challenges to hold me back because I'm not. Uh, because a lot of people have judgments that if you're gonna, heal people and stuff like that, that you have to be perfect. I don't know who the hell is perfect. I don't know who that person is. We all have issues because we all have personalities and we all deal with things in a different way. My level of empathy might be higher than yours, or it might be lower than yours. But why the who like wow, what a judgment, man. So remove and release that. Yes. There's a parade going on, and I didn't realize it was at this time. It's a truck parade here in town. So if you hear the sirens and the horns, that's what's happening. I didn't know what their path was, but I guess they're going by here. So remove and release all all issues of, I think it's going to get really loud because it's getting louder and louder. Anyways, remove and release all forms and structures that you use your own limitations to stop you from being you. Yes. And it's like, I used to, and I had a lot of, I'm working through, I had a lot of judgments of that. I've been exposed to a lot of people who are not, that live in a different existence than I do, and have decided but they seem happy. But then again, that's not my place to judge whether they seem or not. But this is what they live. It's some of them live in. It's almost like they live in a prediction of, like, they live in a lifestyle that this is what is expected of you, and this is what you should do, and this is how you should do it. And it's like that's their choice, and bravo to them for doing that. But it's like I've never been that way. I've always questioned everything. I've always questioned, and it's like I've tried to fit into that category, but I just can't do it because I'm killing off parts of myself doing it. So, and denying parts of myself, and I'm not willing to do that. So remove and release other places that you are not even aware of, that you may be denying yourself because it's not along the normal expectations or judgments of what society is. But really, what is society? Because sometimes we choose something different, but it's not, it's like, that's a judgment as well. So let's remove and release that. Yes. Because I thought society was us and how we operate and how we see the world and how, we treat and honor ourselves. And you know what the beauty of this is that when you clear stuff from yourself and you open yourself up to the possibility of something different, it affects your whole family and opens them up to possibilities. So it's not just yourself you're honoring everyone. But that's also not, I don't want you to think that that's a pressure. So remove and release it. Yes. Remove and release all levels of underlying resistance that we have, because there's still parts of us, and I know I'm guilty of this, there's still parts of us trying to fit into the, so we'll trying to fit into the society that's around us. And we will contract ourselves, we'll disassociate with ourselves, and we will cause, and we'll alienate ourselves. Remove and release that. Yes. It's nice. It's almost like a parade of joy. Hearing all these truck sirens and whistles and stuff is awesome. Because sometimes, and I didn't even realize this until it just popped up, that I have a belief that, like when you hear church bells, it's like, especially on a Sunday, it's like, it's a judgment time. Remove and release that. Yes. Because we've all witnessed, there's those people in, in that we witness as children or teenagers, young adults, or now that do all kinds of things, and then they go to church and repent, and then they think they're free of all their stuff and just continue on. And it's like, how about love and accept ourselves instead of feeling that we have to repent? And maybe like by loving and accepting ourselves and releasing ourselves from our issues, and it's like you can get so stuck in programs that you don't even realize that this is what you're doing to yourself. So remove and release that. Yes. Remove and release. There are parts of us that have, oh yes, okay, so this is the other aspect of it that I've been trying to grow a business for myself, like natural health business. And at periods and times, it's been really, it's very up and down. And it's like, I have been trying to clear this last week of that so many people's limitations and judgments. Like it's almost like there were points in times I felt like I was being blown off the chart of existence, because it's like crickets, man. Like nobody's coming around, and it's like I realized that this is where I realized that I had some judgments of them, but also that I'm allowing their judgments to affect my business and keeping me small. And it's like, so I wasn't even aware of that until I realized there's like so many different aspects. It's like there was a lady, one of my groups that she talks about, just imagine your customers coming to you, like the very best customers you can imagine. And it's like you have to realize that in I'm having a hard time putting this in words. So, but it's almost like you have to realize that it doesn't. Your light can shine no matter what. It doesn't have to be affected by this energy, but we affect it, because asking you shall receive. Asking you shall receive. The universe has your back. How many times, how many places have you heard that manifest, tell you how to manifest and how to create what you want in your life? And it's like, it's our judgments and our limitations that is stopping us. Like, for example, there was a lady here, and she had married someone in this area, and she was a hairdresser, but she's model material. And at that time, The Secret was coming out, and she managed to manifest that she entered into this modeling contract. She got to go to the Bahamas and stay at a resort that costs $8,000 a night for free. And she's now modeling in magazines and stuff like that. She lived on a like, it was sort of a outside of Amherst, and so it's like she's an example of that. No matter where you are and who you are, great things can happen. But what are we limiting ourselves to? And it's like, so remove and release the limitations that we carry that we're not even aware of, that keep us stuck, keep us small, and keep us from succeeding. Yes. Because you hear stories of success all the time. Like, you hear of, like, I'm from Nova Scotia, and they have, like, even there's some really famous hockey players that are from here. Their persistence, their parents' belief that it could happen, and the ability to manifest. So, what parts of you, remove and release, what parts of you that maybe they need to come to the surface in a soft and gentle way so that you can release them. But maybe let's do it so what parts of you are you limiting yourself to believing that this is all that you're capable of? And therefore, sometimes you hit a big wall, and you will just, like, walk away from it or just stay stuck in it. Remove and release that. Yes. I remember one of the times that I had decided, okay, I'm just gonna step away from my gifts for a bit and just work. And oh my God, I was so unhappy. I think I almost cried every night. Oh my God, I had so many health problems. It was horrible. And then I realized, like, it was like my body was saying, okay, are you going to pick yourself now? Or are you just going to follow and just be in more misery and suffer? And I felt like my timeline was being shortened, because my whole lifetime I've planned to live well beyond the age of 120. That was my goal. And anyways, I just felt like everything, like I was going to disappear. I had disappeared. I was so miserable and so unhappy. And so I decided to change that and choose something different. Mind you, I sort of come out of the frying pan into the fire, but then I opened the door to me. I opened the door to myself. So we all have lessons like that. We've all had journeys like that. And it's like, don't give up on yourself. That's what so remove and release all the places you still hold yourself in judgment and imprisoned, and make yourself accountable for the mistakes of the past, of this lifetime, time and space, and also for the mistakes, what you think were mistakes, what you think were judgments, and why you can't be you can't be different. So remove and release that. Yes. Now in the time, it's a very turbulent time here now, and a lot of things are going on, and it's like, but you still can find your peace and you find your joy and you emanate your joy. And so remove and release, like there stuff that goes on is that uh, I gauge myself by growing, by how I react to certain people that I have no choice of having in my life because they're family. So I gauge myself that way. And it's like, it's getting better and better. It's like, wow, I'm not reacting anymore. This is awesome. So remove and release all the places that you still have programs and belief systems and limitations that don't allow you to see what you've accomplished. And it's like sometimes we have, like, I went down when I went to Mexico for my in-person training for I thought I'm going to get a lot of sessions. A lot of things are going to change in my body. It's going to be awesome. So I had this preconceived notion that this is what was going to happen. So when I got there, the first thing she said is, whatever you thought was going to happen, you're going to just throw that out, because your body's going to do what it needs to do to heal, and you don't stop it. Like, stop trying to control it and manipulate it to do this. And it's like, yeah, she was right. And it's like, mind you, my body, like, I have some health issues, and my body tried to realign itself, and I thought I was going to I wasn't going to make it to class. And thanks to Rose and a crew of people associated with Rose and I, and another friend as well, and allowing to release that, I persevered and got there. I dragged myself into the cab and I got there. And it's like, so, but I'm very glad I let go of it, because even more occurred than I thought was possible. And so remove and release the places where you preconceive yourself and say, okay, this is the only people that are going to, like, show up, or this is the only thing that's going to happen. And look, I've done this and I've tried this and it doesn't seem to be working. But maybe your expectation of yourself is so big that you don't see the miracles around you that happen, right? So remove and release that. Yes. I try to tell people to look at the subtle changes in them. Like, one lady had said that she couldn't go up the stairs without being in pain all the time. And then she realized after a few sessions that she didn't have to stop anymore. She could go right up the stairs and no pain. So it's like, to me, that's quite amazing and wonderful, right? But it's like, sometimes we have these, like, you've lived with some things for decades, and some judgments and some pain and suffering. And you go to somebody and you think that they should be able to heal you within one session. I would really like to get to that level. It's possible. It is possible. But I also have the belief that it's a start of a journey to release it. And I'm thankful and grateful that I took it. But there's some people out there that have that projection, that expectation, and that judgment. And I'm not saying it's not possible. Maybe you're healing stuff in places that you're not even aware of, because you're just focused on the one thing, right? So remove and release that. It's like, sometimes your body knows what it needs to be healed first, and your mind and your soul knows what it needs to heal first before what you expect of it. And maybe let's remove and release the limitations, restrictions, and judgments that we have on ourselves, have on our abilities, and have on our body. So that what by removing those judgments, you've left the door open to unlimited possibilities. So remove and release all those judgments, expectations, and limitations. Yes. And the other thing is an allowance of yourself, that by celebrating and being who you are, you have allowed yourself to, this is part of your allowance, to realize, okay, certain things are not a priority in my life because I'd rather do this, right? So, but one example is like, I have people in my life that they're like, um, they have, they get up and this is a certain pattern that they follow, but I choose something different. And by choosing something different, I had a program in me that, so let's remove and release. When you choose a different path for yourself, when you choose to celebrate you, you have punishment tapes that come into effect. You have limitations and you have judgments. And so remove and release those, yes. Because asking you shall receive. The universe has your back. And it's like, my thing is, I've always, one of my, I don't ask enough. I don't ask enough of the universe because I just work away at it. Because that's how I've been taught. You just work through things. You just keep going. Just keep going. Just moving forward. And that's another thing. Just keep going. Keep moving forward. And it's your path. Sometimes there's roadblocks along the way. And it's like, just keep moving through it. And it's like, if you have, for example, a huge blockage in front of you, find another path around it, under it, above it. Like, just work away at it, because you are important. You are the shining star. You are the gift. You are the amazing miracle. I mean, here you are in a physical body. You have a conscience. You have a mind. You have a voice. You are, excuse me, you are the miracle. We just have to realize that. And it's like, I work at that too as well. I'm not, and it's like, but what a fun journey it's been. It's been an amazing journey. And it's just the, and I didn't give up. I did sidetrack. I did give up on myself a couple times, but I didn't, because I still kept taking classes. I still kept reading. I still kept doing my stuff. And so it's like, I want to improve things. I want to change things. And sometimes it takes me a little longer to change stuff. And sometimes it changes really fast. But I notice the differences now. I notice things are not triggering me the way they used to. And that's the thing, that you have to realize that there may be still things that are going on, but look at what you've accomplished and how amazing that you didn't give up on yourself. You still kept going. And it's like, you have, and some things, like I said, some things can heal instantly. Some things just take a little bit, because we have a lot of limitations that maybe that stops them in their tracks. So remove and release all aspects of limitations, any webs of deception, and anywhere you've taught to contract yourself to the point you don't even recognize yourself. Yes. Take a deep breath. Hold. And then release. Think about a few things that you really enjoy and you really like. Like, if you like to sing, sing in your car. Oh yeah, so I have this Frankenstein. I'm a Halloween person, and I had seen this. Somebody on Facebook in the States had put 3 skeletons in the back seat of her car and was driving around town with it. So I have this Frankenstein that hangs on the wall, but because I have people coming in the house, I'm not going to be able to keep them up. So in the last year, I didn't really put them up because I wasn't feeling very well. So I put him in my front seat. So he's in my passenger seat now, and I have this screaming witch, so screaming ghost. So she's in the back seat. So when you shine your light at night onto my car, you're gonna see her face. Anyway, I think it's hilarious. I'm trying to find a skeleton, full-size skeleton to put in the car too. Anyways, it's just fun. Like, I think it's great. It's a lot. I'd rather have a Halloween decoration, and well, I'm also a Christmas person, than flowers. But that's just the way, some of us roll. And it's great to see all these really creative ways people put decorations out and celebrate. Oh, thank you, Rose. And celebrate these events. And you know what? And if that's not your thing either, that's fine too. Like, just do you, just be you. And it's like, I had told my husband that I had put this in, and then yesterday he had forgotten. He says, what is that in your front seat of your car? And I said, that's Frankie. Frankie the Frankenstein. Anyways, he just shook his head and kept going, and it's like, yeah, I think it's great. And yes, thank you. Yeah, so just do the things that to celebrate and be you, and that by doing that and by being in a place of joy, it's you're emanating and building your strength, and your body, your mind, and soul stronger and stronger. Asking, you shall receive. The universe has your back. And celebrate the aspects of you that you have, the growth and the changes in yourself that have occurred. Celebrate them. Celebrate you. Like the fact that I mean, I'm very grateful and thankful that you're on here with me. The fact that you're even listening to this is a celebration of you. And it's like being open to the possibility of something different. That is a huge, huge celebration. And being and releasing and letting go of all the fear programs that we have been taught throughout all our lives. That's a huge celebration. To be free and to be able to choose what you want in your life is a celebration. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful and amazing day. Namaste. Enjoy the sun. There's sunshine here. Enjoy. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.